Today's top stories. President Bush today announced new measures that his administration will take to strengthen the nation's banks and restore the frozen credit markets, following similar announcements yesterday by London, Paris, and Berlin. The measures include injecting capital into banks by purchasing equity shares.
This is an essential short-term measure to ensure the viability of America's banking system.
According to Treasury Secretary Henry Paulson, a total of $250 billion would go to the banks, with about half that total likely to go to 9 of the nation's largest banks. The U.S. moves mirror actions taken yesterday by some of Europe's major powers to combat the worst global financial crisis in 70 years. In New York, the Dow Jones Industrial Average yesterday closed up 936 points, marking the index's largest ever one-day point gain. In a meeting with former Secretary General of the United Nations Kofi Annan yesterday, Iran's President Ahmadinejad called for foreign forces to leave the Middle East so that peace and stability could be restored to the region. Speaking on the sidelines of a high-profile conference in Tehran, Ahmadinejad told Annan, along with Italy and Norway's former prime ministers Romano Prodi and Kjell Magne Bondevik respectively, quote, "The existing problems in the Middle East have not sprang from within the region, but have been injected from the outside." He also voiced his opposition to a security deal currently under negotiation between Iraq and the U.S., saying, quote, "Any decision or agreement that leads to the continuation of the presence of foreign forces in Iraq will not help solve the problems of that country." Addressing a gathering of Iran's Friday prayer leaders today, Iran's Supreme Leader Ayatollah Khamenei said that as reward for the Islamic Revolution's resilience, and with God's help, the era of America's absolute reign has come to an end. Quote, "With the disintegration of Marxism, the school of liberal democracy has been lured of unipolar dominance over the world, and the advancements of its policies without any rivals, thinking that the entire world is beholden to its will." He continued, "Liberal democracy's false slogans of human rights and democracy were exposed in Guantanamo, Abu Ghraib, the invasion of Iraq, the invasion of Afghanistan, and today the false bubble of the rule of money in the Western world has burst, and the era of America's absolute sovereignty has come to an end." These stories and more at IranVNC.com.